Hey everybody, Andrew Douglas Lane here at the Douglas Moon Fragrance channel, where I give my honest thoughts as I review fragrances from the cheaper end all the way to the niche, expensive, and luxurious. And today is very much on the expensive side and the luxurious side, because today we are talking about Maison Francis Kurkdjian Oud Silk Mood Extrait de Parfum. This is staggering, to be honest with you. This is a 2.4 fluid ounce bottle, okay? The price of this, right off the rip, $445 US. Again, this is an extrait de parfum, so I know to a lot of people you might go, well, that's reasonable. But boy, oh boy, is that an incredibly high price to people like me, who, again, I'm not just filthy rich, ready to throw away money. I love fragrances very, very dearly, but that is a price that makes the old eyes do some cartoon bugging out of the head. But let's go ahead and get into it and talk about, is it worth the price? So Oud Silk Mood Extrait de Parfum by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. It says here, the inspiration on the website. Oud Silk Mood, Maison Francis Kurkdjian Extrait de Parfum revisits the silky and enveloping perfume with great intensity. The woody, because there is an eau de parfum version. The woody floral fragrance conjures the soft rustle of silk with a rose petal feel. Skirted with Damascena, or however you say, Damascena rose absolute, papyrus, and blue chamomile, the oud wood gently and elegantly takes flight. Oud Silk Mood Extrait de Parfum is a light and voluptuous scent. Very nice. So the notes here, olfactory notes, their website's a little bit funky, but it says papyrus, which a lot of people don't know what that is, but it's like, it says a cousin to sapierol. I only know papyrus because I like to study like ancient history, ancient religions, and I don't know if this is like the same papyrus. I don't know how many papyruses there are, but I know that it's like a material that they used to use for paper back in like ancient Egypt and things like that. Some of the earlier like paper, if we want to call it that, things, writing material. So don't know if that's where they got it from, but it says sapierol is often used to reconstitute an oud accord or to reinforce its smoky woody. Okay, so add some strength to some men's fragrances and like has a oud accord to it. So blue chamomile, and then Damascena rose or Damascena rose, however you say it. And then after that, oud. So it says that it has oud notes. Again, I don't know if it actually is like real oud used in this. I'm not really sure. I'm not an oud specialist, although I do like different types of oud fragrances. And there are some, if you like oud, that are much more on like that. It's some people, I hate this word. I really do when it comes to fragrances, but there are people who call it cheesy oud. That's got that bit more funk to it. And however it was extracted, even whether it's real or not. Then you've also got oud that is a little bit more soft and friendly and luxurious. Either way, there's fragrances that I like on every end of the spectrum, but I don't know, again, if this has any real oud in it. I will say this up front. This has an incredible, it's not very strong coming out of the atomizer, but it does have an incredible atomizer. Let's see if you can see it. And I'm not going to blast myself in the face like I did the last video. That was bad. Hold on. Okay, so it's a quick shot. I don't know what I was remembering or expecting it to be like this long, like a Dior or a Mancera, but I will say, right out of the gate, it is a room filler. This, as an extrait de parfum, even the eau de parfum I've heard is very strong. I have Grand Soir's eau de parfum, and it in and of itself is a room filler. I already did that video, I already posted that, and that just radiates. But I have the Baccarat Rouge, I have that in an extrait de parfum, just like this, and honestly, in comparison, I think you could potentially just stick with the eau de parfum for the price range, but in and of itself, you definitely do get a little bit more robustness when you get the extrait. But already out of the gate, I do say that even though I will just hit the train tracks hard at a pause when it comes to the price for this, recommending this to someone, this has become one of my favorite fragrances. I don't know that I would put it in my top 10 because there's some that are already there that I don't want to budge, but I do absolutely, absolutely love this because the way this was blended was in a very, like, obviously Maison Francis Kurkdjian knows what he's doing. There's no getting around that. If you know anything about who he is as a perfumer, there's no getting around that, okay? But the oud type of feel behind it is so relaxed. And this is why I don't even know if it's a real actual oud used in this, and perhaps just maybe an AA accord, because it's so soft and relaxed as a back thing behind the rose. You get that very chamomile rose overall type of feel. That papyrus actually does work because in a way it has like an old library, maybe more Middle Eastern library, like you're walking through and you're smelling the old pages, like an antique type of feel, but not in a way that only old people or like more mature elderly men would like to wear this. I love this. This is beautiful in a way that's hard to explain unless you get your nose to it, but the blending between the rose type of absolute, which I guess is a part of why the price is so high. If it's actual, sorry, my ear itches. If it's actual rose absolute, then I can see why this would be inexpensive. And he probably is using really good materials, which makes the question, if it doesn't have real oud, why not? But maybe they would have just took the price too high. I'm not sure. But in and of itself, this is very loud, very robust, very radiant. I wore this. I did 4 sprays, 2 here in the pulse points so that it heats up, and then on the chest, and then 1 on the wrist. Sorry, I know this is not classy at all. Not that I'm a classy guy, but my ear is itching a lot today. Somebody's talking about me, as they say. But maybe you're talking about me right now. But if you are, hopefully it's nice. But this is very robust, and when I sprayed this on, it lasted off of me the entire day. If you've watched any of my videos, you probably already are sick of hearing me say it. But in case you're new here, I work 10-hour shifts at a company that makes and produces and sells fragrances and wax and other materials for candle makers, like huge companies, and then also anybody who's a hobbyist. So I'm around stuff all the time, and this was very powerful, and all day long, especially coming off my shirt, people could not stop smelling it around me and commenting about it, whether they loved it or thought it was pretty nice. This actually did receive real compliments from the people around me because it was very noticeable and very stand out. This is an exceptionally unique fragrance because of the way that those woody, papery, oudy accord back notes go with the rose, but in a different, it's unique. For a rose type of feel, it's exceptionally unique. So it's like you don't know whether the oudy papyrus is being supported by the rose or the rose is being backed up by the other notes, because it was just so well of a dance between it. So it's like, this is one of those rare situations where for how much this costs, because it is exceptionally expensive, $445 for 2.4 fluid ounces is incredibly expensive to me. But I will say that if you are interested in this fragrance and you are a serious collector, or you want something that for special occasions is going to last you a long time, you won't need to spray much, and it will very much stand out, I actually do recommend this. For me personally, if you like rose, if you like mature but not old, distinct, if you would like to stand out, I can honestly say, as somebody who doesn't just gush over things a lot and tries to tell people, hey, there's a lot of overrated, expensive fragrances out there, or they just aren't for me. If you like rosy things like I do, but not like cheap rose, but like very luxurious and beautiful, and things that have something unique about them, I give this a rare 10 out of 10. And I say that it is worth getting if you, again, are going to spend responsibly. If you've got the money, if you've saved up, if you are a serious collector and this is something that you do and you are doing it responsibly, this is 100% worth it. I haven't smelled Oud Satin Mood, but Oud Silk Mood to me is a 10 out of 10 knockout fragrance. I hate that, again, you get so little, but you only need very little for it to just blast off of you. The longevity, insane. The projection, insane. So the overall performance of this, it's just the price is the only thing that I would knock out. Normally, I would let the price heavily influence what I rate it. I'm not going to do that this time because, again, this is something you should only have if you are looking for something luxurious to have in your collection and you can buy it responsibly. So, Oud Silk Mood, Extrait de Parfum by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Again, I can't comment on whether or not the Eau de Parfum is a good choice to save you some money. It probably is amazing. But if you would like to add something to your collection just to have as an occasional luxurious thing, this is incredible. So, Andrew Douglas Lane, Douglas Moon Fragrance Channel. This is Oud Silk Mood, Extrait de Parfum by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Thank you so much for watching. As always, everyone is welcome here as long as you are being kind, compassionate, and at least accepting of other people around you, or welcoming and not causing any harm. God bless each and every one of you, and thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I love you, I appreciate you, and cherish you, and your comments and thoughts, way more than you probably know. Please tell me your thoughts. Tell me your favorite fragrances. Tell me if you've ever smelled this, what you think about it. Are you curious about purchasing it? If you are, again, if you can do so responsibly, highly recommend it. So I love talking with you guys and welcoming every single person here, no matter where you're from. And if you have critiques, that's okay too, and welcome. So again, Oud Silk Mood, Maison Francis Kurkdjian, Extrait de Parfum, 10 out of 10 fragrance. I will see you guys next time.